Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is a 2014 Royal Enfield Continental GT. Or at least it was. I've done quite a few things to this motorcycle. Let's go down the list. First, let's start with suspension. Out back we have Burley brand 15-inch stilettos. They're a little bit longer and a little bit stiffer than stock. Up front, I've lowered the front end by 2 3/4 inches. What this does is give the whole bike a little bit more of a forward, aggressive stance. It's also a little bit stiffer, holds the road just a little bit better than stock. Equally as important, I have ditched the factory clip-on handlebars and I've installed this moto-style bar from Stefan at Zombie Performance. Now this is a 1-inch handlebar, not a classic 7/8. If you ask me, the 7/8 just looked a little bit too thin on this brawnier, heavier looking motorcycle. And while trying to maintain that balance of heavier and lighter, I've stripped everything out, namely all the electronics. So we'll start with the handlebar. Here you see a Motion Pro unit that offers a kill and a start button, and you don't really get anything else. Speaking of what else you don't get, you do not get electronic fuel injection. Instead, I've converted it back to carburetor. Always simple, always functional, always working. It's literally set up to run the way that motorcycle engines ran for about 70, 90 years. And that's very simple. You turn the bike on here, press start. The starter starts this carbureted bike. With the engine running, an electrical current comes from the stator and passes back under here to the rectifier, which converts the electricity into pure, clean 12-volt goodness, which is housed in the battery, tucked conveniently under here. On a side note, people have been asking for years where I kept the battery. The last bit of the electronics is this neat little taillight. It just turns on red and then gets more red when you press the brakes. Up front is a very slim fog light unit from Hella. The exhaust I built myself out of stainless steel tubing. The muffler is a Super Trap. It sounds phenomenal. What else? The seat pan is hand laid out of fiberglass and wrapped by the one and only Carina Mantlo. You really can't get a nicer. The wheels, hubs, and engine covers have been coated black and sanded to a matte finish. Oh, and the gas cap to match, that's right. Which brings us to the last part of this build, my favorite part, the gas tank. You see, the stock gas tank is a beautiful gas tank, but it is a cafe racer gas tank, which means it's pretty long. In some of my other videos, you've probably seen me take an angle grinder to this thing, cutting it in half. It was not a stunt. I cut it into about 11 different pieces, and here's why. Originally, it came to about here, 2.5, 2 3/4 inches over this first seat post thing. And that would be good if you were riding this in a kind of tucked in cafe racer position. But with the moto handlebar, you're sitting in a little bit more of an upright position, which means this part would hit your nuts. But when I shortened the tank from here, it made the back end kind of bulky and blocky, and I wanted to maintain the teardrop shape that the tank originally had. So I had to narrow this end of the tank, I think by 1.5 inches or so. And in the process, I took this slope down by about 3/4 inch right here, giving it a nice and proportionate profile. Does it hold gas? Yes. Does the engine hold oil? Not as well. But the real question is, does it run and is it fun? It's pretty much perfect to take down to your local luncheonette and get breakfast. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that it's for sale.